I just wanted to come on this afternoon and talk a bit about mental health because I get a lot of messages from people telling me about how strong they think I am and how positive I am. And I just want to be real about that for a minute. Um, so before I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, I kind of always thought that I had a really level head and I was just really clued up and everything, and really sure of myself, like in terms of my mental health. And now I look back and I realise that actually mental health issues come in all shapes and sizes. So they can be a feeling, a feeling like that's unhealthy, anger, jealousy, things like that. Or they can be, kind of like illnesses like anxiety and depression and things like that. And I think that I've kind of always had a bit of everything. Everyone feels these things at some point, I think. And I didn't really realise how badly I was such a kind of negative thinker. I've had anxiety since I was a kid. I've had bouts of depression. I remember going to the doctors when I was about 19 and saying that I think I'm a little bit depressed, and I went for cognitive behavioural therapy, but I only ended up going for one session because it wasn't really for me. And I just thought, I can just cope with this by myself. And yeah, it kind of took me getting diagnosed with cancer to realise that mental health, it plays a major part in recovery and healing, and just feeling better about what's going on. I really, really hit rock bottom when I got diagnosed. I was angry, angry about my situation. I just felt like it was really unfair, and just angry that I felt like I didn't have a future, and I'm only 29. I felt jealous about people that just get to live their lives like normal, and don't have to worry about medical appointments and if they're going to even see another year. And I felt obviously anxious, really, really scared about my future, what was going to happen to me, how long I had left. And I felt really depressed, really, really depressed. In my lowest moments, I just thought, I'm going to die anyway, so why doesn't it just fucking hurry up and happen? Like, literally, I was just so down. I just felt the worst I had ever felt, and probably the worst that anyone can feel, to the point where I just thought there was like no way out of this. And that's me being more honest probably than I've ever been, and probably even more so than like some of my family even know. Like, it was fucking bad. My mum reached out to Robert, a unconscious mind therapist, when I was probably about 2 weeks diagnosed, and told him I was really bad, and would he be able to talk to me and help me. So Robert, out of the kindness of his heart, said that he would see me for free, and see, if there was anything he could do to help. When I first spoke to him, I had quite a closed mind, and I thought, you know what, what's the harm? I speak to him, probably won't help me, but I may as well. So I spoke to him on the phone, and we arranged a meeting for the first time. So I went along to his office, I think you'd call it an office, in Essex, and we hit it off straight away. Like, he's so friendly, like really nice guy, down to earth, from the same part of London as me, Millwall supporter like me. And yeah, straight away I just felt like I could talk to him like I couldn't talk to my family, because one thing you kind of find with this sort of diagnosis, I think, is that there's things that you can say to other people that you'd be too scared to say into your family because you really don't want to upset them or make them really, really worried about you. So yeah, he straight off the back like said to me, we're not gonna dwell on the past. Like, even my diagnosis, which was only 2 weeks before, was the past, and he's like, I don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about your future, and where you see yourself going and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, what future? Like, I'm gonna die. Like, that's my future. Like, I've just kind of cancelled any plans for any future. Like, I quit my university degree that I was doing, had no plans of going back to work or anything like that. Just wanted to spend every moment of my day with my daughter. And yeah, so I was a little bit like, okay, I don't really know like what we're going to talk about here. But he asked me like what I would hope for the future, and I said that I would love to get a clear scan from my cancer and start, you know, a healthier lifestyle, and then maybe one day I can write a book or find ways to help other people. So then he said to me, okay, right, let's start with like the getting a clear scan thing, and he started telling me about visualizing. So he asked me to close my eyes and basically tell him what's happening with me getting that clear scan, who's in the room, what am I wearing, like who came with me, yeah, everything, like what the room looked like everything down to like tiny little details. And I thought it was really strange and a bit uncomfortable and a bit embarrassing, but once I kind of got into it, put myself in that mindset that I was actually there, and it was just amazing. Like I just felt like for that moment with my eyes closed, I was actually cured of cancer or clear of cancer. And from then on, it kind of became quite addictive to visualize, because visualizing was making me feel good, and it was like nicer than the reality I was living in at the moment. Like thinking forward and thinking about these nice things, it just felt like really like nice. And so he explained to me about cortisol levels and how if they're higher, you kind of like, it's kind of like a bad environment for your body. So you need to try and minimize stress, and doing things like visualization, meditation, practicing gratitude. So waking up in the morning and telling yourself all the things that you're grateful for will help. And the first week I couldn't really commit to it. I tried, but I didn't, like, it wasn't successful. And when I went back to him the next week, he actually said to me, you haven't been doing this every day. Like, I know you haven't. And I was like, shit. So yeah, after the second week, I actually committed to visualization every single day, and I just started to feel better and better all the time. And it was making my treatment easier, because like I was going in and doing things like putting on my headphones, listening to relaxing music, and actually like visualizing like the cancer like melting away sort of thing. And it just, yeah, that took away the anxiety that I was feeling when I was going for cancer treatment, making it easier on me as well, for the fact that I'm the youngest person on the adult cancer ward, and it is a bit shit. Like there's no one my age, and it just kind of like, it can be quite depressing, but I've learned to kind of cope with that now. Yeah, so he really just helped me kind of understand that having a healthy mind would help my body. And I really believe that the reason why I got a clear scan the last time I got my scan results was because I've worked so hard on having the mental strength to cope. So I just really want to say, first of all, I think it's really important to be able to talk about your mental health. Don't be ashamed if you feel like you need to go to therapy, because that's something that I never wanted to do. I always found it really embarrassing and just thought like, you know, it kind of makes you look a bit weak if you need help from someone. That's fucking bullshit. Like, if you need help, get help, because it has been the best thing I could have done to help me on this journey. I feel so grateful to have spoken to somebody who just like can't he never even got it because he doesn't have cancer, so he can't understand 100% like how I feel, but he knew what to do to give me the tools to cope. And you know, I'm not necessarily going to have clear scans forever. I know that, like, that's the reality of stage 4 cancer. Like, the cancer's there, but it's so small that you can't see it. But I know that I've got people and things in my own head that are going to help me to overcome that again and again, and again, as long as I need it. And I'm really, really grateful to Robert. I'm grateful to my mum for getting me in contact with him, because he changed a lot for me, especially in those early weeks. I needed to see someone like him, and yeah, I'm just really happy that I did. And I think it's important as well to add that he never told me, oh, holistic therapy is going to cure you of cancer, stop going to chemo, you know, you just need to come see me, and have a vegan diet and all that stuff, like, and take cannabis oil. Like, he told me, he encouraged me to carry on with my treatment, just to find ways to deal with it better, not so feel so anxious when I was there. Nothing is a magical cure for how you feel when you've got stage 4 cancer. Like, it is scary, like, there's no getting away from that, especially I think around scan result time. But I just think, even if you don't have cancer, if you feel shit about something, if it's affecting you enough to, you know, change things in your everyday life and make you feel upset or angry or confused or anything, like, it's just really important to talk to people. And now I'm looking towards the future, and I feel like I do have one, and I'm not scared, and I don't, like, well, I do get scared, but like, I'm not to the point where I think I can't plan anything, because, you know, what's the point? I feel like it's really, really, I don't know, positive to have things to look forward to and to visualize yourself being there, because it just gives you that drive to want whatever it is. Like, you know, even if you don't have anything wrong with you in terms of like medical diseases or anything like that, like, if it's just that you've always wanted your dream car, like, visualize it every single day, and eventually your wishes will be granted. Because if you want something that badly, I don't see what can be standing in your way. So one of the things I'm looking forward to in the future is actually working with Robert. We're going to try and maybe, I don't know, set up some seminars and things like that where we can talk to people together, because he's not just my therapist anymore, he's actually my friend. And I just think, you know, we can really get something positive from this, and like, together. So thank you, Robert. And yeah, anyone want to talk to me about anything to do with mental health, like, you can DM me, like, you can email me, whatever you want to do. Like, even if you want to take my number, like, I will talk to anyone. And if I can help, then I will. Thank you for listening.